Greetings everyone, I hope this video finds you well, and today I'm going to be ranking every animal in Animal Jam Classic. Before we get into it, this is my opinion. I noticed a recent trend on TikTok or YouTube where if you rank things or share a really harmless opinion, people will get mad at you. I made a couple videos ranking Littlest Pet Shop molds, and people in the comments would get genuinely furious if I didn't have a similar opinion to them. So if you're one of those types of people, please click off my video. In fact, just unsubscribe from the channel altogether because this is just for fun. Anyways, I'm sorry guys. Also, I'm not going to be ranking any of the patterned animals like the spooky snow leopard or the frolicking fox, just because in essence they're the same animal and it's hard for me to separate that. Alright, I've hopped over to tier maker. I didn't make this tier list, someone else made this, so if there's any missing animals, I'm really sorry, but I'm pretty sure this has all of them. We have S tier, which is the best animals, probably my favorites. We have A tier, which is really high up. B tier is kind of in the middle, but it's still positive. C tier is, I would say, mediocre animals or situational animals. And D and E tier are animals that I rarely use or just wouldn't use at all. So yeah, I think all animals in Animal Jam are cool in their own right. I think generally it's a good thing if Animal Jam adds animals at all to the game. I would greatly prefer an ugly new animal over none at all. So first up is the Arabian horse. Now when I see the Arabian horse, I kind of think of My Little Pony fans because I think the base model is literally Fluttershy, but actually I mainly associate it with fashionable players. I see so many niche outfits with this one. Fun fact, I actually don't have an Arabian horse and I kind of recently have been wanting one more and more. Do I think it's the most interesting of the horses? No. Do I think it succeeds in looking good in most items? Yes. So this is a strong A tier, I think. Next up is the Arctic fox, and I have such beef with this animal. It reminds me a lot of children that play the game, which isn't a bad thing. It's a child's game, they should be allowed to exist. Obviously I'm turning 21, so I don't really interact on purpose with that side of the community, but I can tell when people are younger, and I feel it's always a pink or purple Arctic fox, and their heads are freaking huge. They're so hard to dress. I feel Animal Jam saw how much money they were making off of Arctic wolves, and they were yeah, let's try to do that again. They have the same formula going on, but it didn't really succeed, so E tier. Speaking of Arctic wolves, this is the most iconic animal in the entire game. The Arctic wolves are the face of Animal Jam, whether you like it or not. Even though they have fell off in recent years, they were super popular from the moment they were released, especially in the Diamond Shop era. I think in retrospect, they're pretty hard to dress, and I'm not really a fan of them personally, but at the time, they looked great in all the rare items. The elf tails, the spiked collars, the gloves, all of these items were the cool items, and they did look good on the Arctic wolf, but I don't see myself playing them. For the iconic factor, I'm gonna have to put it in A tier as well. Next up is the bunny. I don't have a lot to say about the bunny. They're really tiny and the items just swallow the bunny. And I feel there's nothing cool you can do with their ears, which are their biggest body part, but they're also really cute. Every time I see a bunny sleeping, I'm taken back to the pillow room. B tier probably. And then next is the camel. I never see camels. I kind of think they're llamas, but not as cool. Again, there's nothing interesting I can say about the camel. They're a cool addition, but just not for me, so yeah, C tier is fine for that. Next is the cheetah, and I love cheetahs. They're a little hard to dress because they have a really long back. When you can get an outfit to work on them, it's really rewarding. I think they look super cute. They have fun animations as well. They have this perpetually smug smirk and a very flat head, but it's kind of endearing. They can go in A tier next to the Arctic wolf. Next is the Clydesdale. I know a lot of people love the Clydesdale. They're super cute, but I feel when Animal Jam tries to show that an animal is big, they make them so bulky, but still short. I feel if the Clydesdale had different proportions, it would look more realistic to a Clydesdale. Still such a cute horse breed. Unfortunately, because of the proportions, I'm gonna have to do C tier. Next up is the cougar, which is another bulky type animal, but I actually really like their proportions. Their animations are also really cute. The head being small lets you have a lot of cool head items. I'm gonna go A tier. Then we have the coyote. I feel the coyote kind of suffers from the same problem that the Arctic fox has, which is when When I encounter a kid on the game, I feel like they're always playing a coyote. They have like a really colorful mismatched outfit and their username is like what my usernames looked like when I was 12. Again, nothing wrong with that. Another thing I always found kind of weird is that they have like a dark purple ear and all the other animals, their ear is like usually pink. So it tends to like stand out to me. It's definitely above the Arctic fox though. Next is the croc or crocodile. I know a lot of people like troll as a crocodile. Its animations are superb, honestly. I think the one struggle I have with it is that it has like peak design, amazing proportions, totally stylized in such a cute way, and it like screams Animal Jam to me, but the items don't really work for it. Anyways, next up is the deer. When I was a kid, I loved the deer. I loved seeing these around like the gym holidays, but I feel like when it comes to tall, skinny animals, there's like 2 or 3 that just do it better. I think the problem is that the head is very square when I feel like deer have a very soft head shape. Unfortunately, the deer will be joining the coyote in D tier. Next up is the direwolf. I think the direwolf is super cool. Do I think it's as cool as the saber-tooth? You know, keep watching and we can find out, but I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's like a great example of a big animal that's not just bulky in like every area. Next up is the dolphin. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, the dolphin is my least favorite underwater animal. I don't know why. I think it's kind of boring. All the other underwater animals have such fun animations and like weird things going on, and the dolphin is just like, hey, I'm a dolphin. I'm gonna have to sit that one out. Okay, next is the eagle, which is our first flying animal of the bunch. Does anyone else find flying animals so practical to use, but they're so hard to dress? So many items look weird with their flying animations. When I go to Jamal and I just see people sitting around as flying animals, I'm like, really? This is the animal that you chose? Headdress eagles are the worst. Alright, that's the end of my statement. We'll put them in C tier. Next up is the elephant. S tier, I don't care what anyone says. The items that go on their trunk look so cool. Are they bulky? Yes, but their proportions are so cool and like they're just a classic. Next is the falcon or falcon, I don't know. I'm just gonna say falcon. Hate this animal. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. They look like a kid who like makes offensive jokes on the school bus. It's like out of all the flying animals, I think this is the worst for me. Yeah, it's just not my vibe. Very surprised that they made a patterned version of this animal because I feel like it's very unpopular, but whatever. Next we have the finnick fox. I feel so negative. They're just throwing my least favorite animals at the front. Their body is so small. I think I just have a problem with animals that have like one exaggerated body part. It makes it so hard to do anything with. Their animations are cool, they're cute or whatever. If this tier list was in like perfect order, I would say the finnick fox is like kind of teetering on D tier, but the regular fox is just so much better. Next is the flamingo. I think it's pretty equal to the eagle. That rhymes. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion. I feel like the eagle's flying animation is a lot cooler, so they're kind of tied for first place when it comes to flying animals for me. Next up is the fox. If you play this game regularly, then you know where this is going. The fox is so versatile, so iconic, looks good at everything, patterns are great, the eyes you choose and the colors you choose and the patterns, they can have like completely different vibes. They do have a bad reputation from like the scammer coquette foxes that pop up everywhere. I just feel like whenever I hear about someone being a terrible person outside of Animal Jam, you know, not every coquette fox, but somehow always a coquette fox. Like in my last video when I confronted that scammer that happened to be like a cutesy little pastel fox. Yeah, no, they're like demons on the inside, but I'm not gonna lie, half the time I make an outfit, I'm like making a new fox. Next up is the giraffe. This is another S tier animal. I always miss getting it on my account, but every time I've had a giraffe, I freaking love them. They're non-member, I think. One of the coolest non-member animals. Every time I see someone playing as a giraffe, they're just like the nicest player ever. They're either like a veteran player and they're just coming on the game to chill, or they're like an artist. I have nothing but good things to say about people who main giraffe. If I had one, I would definitely consider it to be my main look. Fun fact, I've had this channel for almost a year and I haven't decided on my main look yet. And I don't feel like any of the ones that I have right now are the one. I kind of wear a different outfit for each video. Do I even need a main look? Is that like a 2016 thing? I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments. Next up is the goat. I'm gonna do C tier. They're kind of short and stubby. I don't really have much to say about them. I think they're cute. They kind of also remind me of like younger players. I see a lot of younger players playing the goat. Should I move it to D tier? Yeah, sorry. I think D tier is more fitting. Everything else in C tier to me is like a lot cooler than the goat. So anyways, great horned owl. I never see these, but I think they're cooler than the falcon. So we'll do D tier for that. Next up, we have the horse. S tier again. The horse is so iconic to me. It just like embodies the golden era of Animal Jam to me. It wasn't a popular animal, but since there were so many people playing, it was like kind of there, kind of present. There were a couple of very popular and nostalgic YouTubers that used the horse. Julian 2 is one. I don't know if I should mention him on this channel because like as a kid, I loved his videos. He was definitely my favorite Animal Jam YouTuber. I never liked Apari or any of like, he was just so obnoxious. And Julian had that like real nerd for Animal Jam type thing, but he had like a controversy that I still don't know the details of. I'd rather not like anyone bring it up in my comments. The horse does remind me of his main outfit. I thought his main outfit was really cool as a kid. So yeah, I don't know if that ramble made sense, but I like the horse a lot. They're super duper cute. Next up is the hyena. This is like a solid B tier animal. Then we have the kangaroo. I'm inclined to like the kangaroo. I think they're really cute. I'm gonna go B tier as well. They're really hard to dress and kind of like a novelty animal to me. But next up is the koala. Koala is S tier as well. I feel like they're a lot easier to dress than most animals. They're tiny, but you know, they're not microscopic, like 2 apples tall. I just think they're cute. My main animal on my throwaway Animal Jam account is a white koala. Next is the skunk. No, I need to cut that out. Next is the lemur. I never see these. Like, I think they're cute. A lot of people who play lemurs I've interacted with have been really nice. So just for that, they're gonna get a C tier. Lions are 100% S tier. To me, they're like the coolest animal that you used to be able to get with those like membership codes. It was so cool having your name as like King of the Jungle. That's freaking aura. Items look really cool on them. I like their little teeth. Honestly, a top 5 animal for me. Next is the llama, which is like a cooler version of the camel, so we'll go in B tier. Was it like 2018 this animal was released? Next is the lynx. The lynx is like a shorter and stubbier cougar to me, but you know how I feel about short and stubby. I don't like it. We'll do like a solid, yeah, let's do a D tier. Next is the monkey. Freaking tier animal. In real life, monkeys are my favorite animal, specifically orangutans. I wish this game had orangutans so bad. But yeah, monkeys are super cute. Very hard to dress, I'll admit, but like they're just so cute. Next is the caribou. I think it's the newest animal release. I don't understand why they didn't come with antlers. I feel like that's just really dumb. I guess so you can add your own antlers, but then it's like, what's the point? Probably like on par with C tier animals for me. Next is the octopus. Octopus is, yeah, it's my favorite sea animal. Their animations are so cool. Their big ass head is everything to me. Don't make fun of the octopus, please. I'm really sensitive about it, okay? Next we have the otters. Listen, I love otters as much as the next guy. In real life, I think otters are so cute, but in the game, they don't look like otters to me. They look like a ferret. I've always found them really hard to dress. Let me know if I'm the weird one or like anyone agrees. I have like a bias against animals that can be on land and underwater. I don't know why, but it's like if I'm going underwater, I want to be an underwater animal specifically. And half the time I go underwater, it'll like default to one of my land animals and they're just like naked because I only use them on land, but I have like specific underwater animals that have like outfits and stuff for the purpose of going underwater. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna follow my heart and put it in C tier. Next up, we have the owl. The owl was one of my main animals when I was younger, like 13, 12. I had like a little flower crown going. So when I think of owls, I kind of think of that artsy girl time of Animal Jam. I was one of those for a couple years, so D tier. All right. Pandas. They're like really funny animals. In the golden era of Animal Jam, if you just rolled around as a panda, you were like the funniest kid on the block, bro. I'm gonna do A tier. The only thing like taking points off is, you guessed it, I find them hard to dress. Alright, next we have the penguin. I freaking love the penguins. Again, they're a really funny animal. I think they're a lot easier to dress. Non-member penguins are usually like really nice people. I also love them for winter outfits. They're one of those animals that when you go underwater, it freaking takes your clothes off. I'll put it on screen. I have this penguin outfit that's kind of like a funny, silly outfit, but when I go underwater, it literally looks flesh toned. Sorry, I can't say that word without laughing. It looks flesh toned. It's just like a fleshy mass floating in the water, and I don't like it. And I can't find clothes that match that because like it only works with the context of the other items that I'm wearing. Regardless, penguin goes in A tier. Okay, we're a little bit into the video. We have over halfway done with the animals. Leave a like if you made it this far. But next up is the pig. I remember when pigs got converted to being non-member animals and they were really popping off. Every room you went into, there was a pig. The sad thing is, I just don't like their design. They have this like Angry Birds look to them. I don't know what that is. Just for me, I'm not a fan. We'll put it in E tier. Then we have the polar bear. This animal is huge. Proportionally, it's like the same size as an elephant, which makes no sense. Polar bears are very big animals. They're getting a lot smaller because of climate change, but the Animal Jam polar bear is unaffected by the climate. Next up, we have the raccoon. This is easily an A tier animal for me. I'm not rating it, but I think the rainbow raccoon is really cool. I also love their default eyes. Next up, we have the red panda. I used to have a red panda outfit and then I deleted it because I kind of fell out of love with the red panda. I think they're cute. The problem for me is they're kind of like if the lynx and the fox had a baby. Judging by that, I'll put them in like C tier. Next is a saber tooth. I freaking love this animal. I want it so bad. I deeply wish that I had the saber tooth. This is an S tier animal for me. I love the fangs. I love the back. It's a big animal, but it has like some interesting proportions to it. I don't know. They're cute. I don't know. I really want one. And I don't even think I can get one. So next up is the seal. Seals are so freaking cute. They're just cute farming. We'll do A tier on the seals. Whenever I see a new jammer and they're a seal, I immediately feel like maternal. Next up is the shark. Probably A tier. I think they look really cool. Next up is the sheep. Look, I know a lot of people love the sheep, so I don't want to get hate when I say this, but the sheep to me looks like a piece of furniture. The legs are just a square. So they kind of look like a seat or something. They can be in D tier. Next up is the skunk. Skunk is a C tier for me. Then we have the sloth, another like one of my favorites. Their design is so fun. Their arms are so fun. Next up is the snow leopard. Dude, another S tier animal. When I was younger, I thought if you had a snow leopard, you were like the coolest player. I still love the snow leopard. I'm trying currently to like make outfits with one of them. It's kind of hard, like it's harder than I remember, but I think they're so cute. Next up is the tiger. Again, very, very, very iconic. I want to make more tiger outfits. I do find them really hard to dress. They were also glitched a couple months back where you couldn't put items on them, and I ended up getting frustrated and deleting a lot of my tigers because if I wanted to change anything, it would just mess them up so bad. So I definitely need to make more. Next up is the toucan. We'll go C tier. I don't really have much to say about them because I don't see a lot of toucans, but yeah. Then next up we have the sea turtle, my second favorite sea animal. They're so cute. The shell is so fun to design. I love how the patterns look on the shell. So yeah. And last but not least, the wolf. Super classic animal. I love making like nostalgic outfits on them. Wolves definitely took over Arctic wolves in recent years, which I think is cool. There was an era where it was just mostly warrior cat roleplayers in Serapia Forest, so I like to see them making a comeback. Our S tier really got long in the final stretch. I feel like this video started off really negative. Oh my god, I forgot about the rhino. I'm so sorry to the rhino. We'll put our rhino in B tier. I don't know how I skipped that. I feel really dumb. The rhino is a really cute non-member animal. Anyways, that's it for our tier list. This is how it turned out. I'm gonna have a look and see if there's anything I want to move around. I might move the horse down one, just because when I look at S tier, the horse is like teetering on the edge, so. And it makes it equal with the Arabian horse, which seems more accurate because I actually like both pretty much the same. As for these tiers, I might swap the crocodile and the seal. Everything else looks pretty good. Again, these are just my opinions. If you disagree, I 100% understand. These are like up to personal tastes, you know, depending on if you're a member or non-member, what year you joined the game. There's like a ton of factors. If my least favorite animal is your favorite animal, that's awesome. You know, I hope I see you around Jamaa. Yeah, making this video has brought back like a lot of memory. So I just want to say thank you guys for allowing me to do this and watching me do this. I think all of you guys are so funny and supportive. Yeah, I hope to keep creating content for you guys. I think I'm like on a content spree and I know it won't last forever. Right now I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, if you have any ideas, just let me know. It doesn't have to be a brand new idea. I'm sure this video has been done before. I know a fellow YouTuber, Keck, which all of you probably know about Keck. They make freaking amazing videos. They've done a lot of tier list stuff before, so anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys around. Bye!